got one. You're hanging with us. He brought a book. So, George, good job with us this morning. But a big thank you to her and Isabel sisters, who have been with us, I think, 3 years now or something, which is just amazing to have had them that long. And they were great with the kids. So we're looking for new babysitters. We've got a few in church that are going to help out, but I'm also put it out to the high school, and hopefully we can get a nice rotation of some kids who want to help in Sunday school and help with the younger ones too. So, no, we do not have a new secretary yet. So Heather Betancourt is going to help out for a while. You may see Betsy in too. Betsy hasn't, her new job hasn't quite started yet, so she's going to still help out. So we're just going to do the best we can for a little while. So, and Camille is going to take over the blast, so we're farming some stuff out. But if we don't quite get something, or you need something, and it might just be me. No, it might take twice as long as usual. So, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, that's the best I can say. I am going to put, I think, even an ad in the paper. I took a hike on part of the Appalachian Trail this week and figured out the non-confirmation class that I'm going to run, the unconfirmation class. But I want to put it out to people in town too, and anybody else who might, I heard some of this as I was growing up, but especially as I was raising my daughter, who's now 27, something like that, 28, is parents would say, well, we're just going to let our kids decide. On, faith, religion, whatever it is, So they weren't bringing them to church. They weren't doing anything. The thing I'd always say to the parents, but how do they decide if they don't have any tools or if they're not exposed to anything? That's like telling a kid, well, you can figure out reading, don't worry, but we're just not going to give you any books or teach you anything, So I'm going to put it out to people and just see what they want and say, this is not about the kids at the end of the time joining church or anything like that. This is truly about what tools do we need to lead our spiritual and faith lives for our entire life. And we need a couple more chairs, it looks like. Oh, you're going to bench it? Okay, just move the basket. That's fine, too. And we're without a babysitter this morning, just FYI. So, but the girls, okay, they can always play around, too. If, Oh, we're going to do Wild Church, so they can be out and about, too. So that's what I'm going to do for confirmation, have different experiences with the kids, but really work on what are the tools that we need to really develop our spiritual lives throughout our whole lives, and also hopefully give them a good view of the church that is loving and kind and takes action on behalf of others too. So that's what we're going to do. So. And if anybody does know anybody that's looking for a part-time job and would like to work in a busy office, but a fun, lovely office, let me know. Okay, we've got one more Sunday out here. Next Sunday we'll be here, and then we start Sunday school, and we're back at the sanctuary. So, all right, I think that's it. Let's gather together. Wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever you come with, and wherever you are going, you are seen, you are heard, you are welcome. You have always belonged. We open this gathering with the acknowledgement of the lands, waters, creatures, plants, and peoples whose being is bound up with our own in mutual dependence. For thousands of years, indigenous people have walked on this land, on their own land. Their relationship with the land is at the center of their lives. We acknowledge these lands upon which we worship as the ancestral, cultural, traditional, and unceded lands of the Wabanaki Confederacy. We commit ourselves to the work of dismantling the ongoing legacies of settler colonialism. And we're going to start with 2 songs this morning. The first is Morning Has Broken. And please stand if you're able.
Praise for the singing, praise for
You'll turn in your bulletins we've just got the words there for ground and source, and let's sing that together. You may be seated. One of the interesting things about doing this outdoors with a speaker system is you don't know what feedback or a cicada is. At first, when it started feeding back, I'm like, oh, a cicada, that's loud. No, it's not. So our centering prayer this morning is a poem from Jan Richardson, who writes a lot of really wonderful things. And you know what? I have the bulletin for you all, and then I have all the things I'm going to say. I'm going to make sure I'm in the right place here and not doing the wrong thing. But no, I'm not doing that yet. Okay, we're going to do something else first. So our centering, I wondered that. You never know with me. So our centering prayer this morning is going to be a centering meditation, and I want to thank Bev for bringing this. She brought a whole thing from Star Island that she goes to every year for me. And we are going to do the poem, but in a bit. But we're going to start with this. And you know how I always say, ground yourself with your feet on this ground here and with your seat in your seat? Well, this is a real grounding that we're going to do all together here. So I ask you to ground yourself with your feet on whatever ground you are on, because we've got Zoomers with us, of course, this morning, with your seat in your seat. And then I have their instructions, but they're more like invitations. Do what feels good in this to you. And also feel what comes. See what comes as we do this together. Settle yourself comfortably in your chair. Place your feet firmly on the ground. Close your eyes as if you trust your space. Feel yourself be still for perhaps the first time today. Don't hold your body up, but rather allow your chair to cradle you. Allow the earth to cradle you. Allow the earth to hold you. be stillness. Notice your breathing. Notice how it moves in and out, in and out, in and out of your body without you making any effort at all. It moves in and out without you even noticing it. Now take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose. Now exhale out something that has frustrated you. Breathe in. Now exhale out something that has angered you. Breathe in. Now exhale out something that saddened you. Breathe in. Now exhale out something that separated you from the one whom we call God. Now breathe in and breathe in God's grace. Exhale out something else that is clogging you up today. Breathe in a breath of God's love. Now breathe out again something else, anything else that is getting in your way of being here with these people here in this time and in this place. Breathe out. Breathe in a breath of God's peace. Now exhale out again anything else that is standing in your way of being here and now. Breathe in the breath of God's grace. Continue to breathe in and out, in and out, with intention, with purpose. Let each exhale be a release, a confession, a letting go. Let each breath in be forgiveness, a new life. It is the Ruach, the Spiritus, the very breath of God, moving in and out of our bodies with every breath. Continue to breathe in and out with purpose and intention, releasing everything that is standing in your way of being here and now together in this time and place. Release yourself from the tyranny of your schedule and simply be God's stillness. Continue to breathe in and out until you are both breathing God in and exhaling God back out into the world. In and out. Loving God, may our every breath, may our taking in and releasing, returning to, be in celebration of your love, of you who is love. All this we ask in your name. Amen. The way that our process goes for Wild Church is that I'm going to read something else for us, invite you to, as usual, I'm going to give a suggestion, but you know the rules here. It's whatever you want to do. And then you can go find a place in the garden. There's about 20 chairs out there, and there's more than 20 people here. So if you're able to carry a chair, take a chair with you and find a space. And then I'll ask you to be out there for a while and just experience with what's in your mind, what's in your heart, what's with your very breath, and whatever you need to be out there. And then we will come back and we will have a time of sharing together and reflection of whatever you want to share and whatever you saw and felt out there. And our invitation for today comes from this poem that I found, and yet it's listed as an Ash Wednesday poem because it's about the dust. You know, it's blessing the dust, right? But it talks about dirt and soil. And I thought about how wonderful that is for us now. I don't want to just leave it for Ash Wednesday when we're usually huddled inside. Ash Wednesday is usually when it's cold, maybe still snowing out, you know, and all the things. But to use it out here, and especially, I thought about soil a lot this week because at the beginning of the week and through a lot of the week, it was parched, wasn't it? I went up to Moosehead, and the conversation that we all talked about, anyone that I met on the way up, was how dry it was, right? And how we were parched, it felt like, too, because of the earth. And how we were talking about how concerned we were. If we got a deluge, would it even have time to soak in? And how lovely, I know here, because I just live back there, that we got a good rain, right, on Friday, right? Yes, because I parked my car with the kayak in the garage so that I didn't have a kayak filled with rain. And then later, about the time I went to bed, it rained again. And in Illinois, we call that a good soaking rain, right? Like there's time for it to get in. And it's like the first rain had said, okay, dirt, soil, get ready. because you're going to need, I'm going to send you more too. You're going to have more of that. And isn't that us often? That things bounce off of us in our dry seasons, that even good things come and we're not able to take them in. But it gets us ready. Sometimes it feels like a deluge too, doesn't it? Like then it all just comes too much and we can't handle it. But even those deluges, right? I think about even the dryness that opens some things up, that the dryness I watched, oh my goodness, at the campsite, the chipmunks were harvesting everything, right? Pine cones and all that. And I thought, oh, that dryness allows for that. If it was too wet, they'd still be green and, all that. So all those seasons are what we need. So think about that in the soil that is, that surrounds you, the soil that is your very self and your soul and your life and what comes. So hear this poem, Blessing the Dust. All those days you felt like dust, like dirt, as if all you had to do was turn your face toward the wind and be scattered to the four corners, or swept away by the smallest breath as insubstantial. Did you not know what the Holy One can do with dust? This is the day we freely say we are scorched. This is the hour we are marked by what has been made through the burning. This is the moment we ask for the blessing that lives within the ancient ashes and makes its home in the soil of the sacred earth. So let us not be marked for sorrow. Let us be marked not for shame. Let us be marked not for false humility or for thinking we are less than we are, but for claiming what God can do within the dust, within the dirt, within the stuff of which the world is made and the stars that blaze in our bones and the galaxies that spiral inside the smudge we bear. So go, get a little dirt on you somehow. How's that? Right? Find a place to be where you can wonder and be open to all that comes to you. And I will come around in about 15, 20 minutes and gather us all back together. Okay? Be loud here. Thanks, Tom. We've got a few more people wandering in, but that is fine. Does anybody want to share with what they thought, felt, saw while they were out and about?
Did anyone ever make frog bellies from the
Oh, Susan, do you have the mic? Can we run with the mic?
As a
Oh.
child we did, and I don't know how to do it now.
Oh, okay. So Donna needs help. She wants to learn how to make frog bellies again.
They blew up and they're green, so we just call them frog bellies.
Okay. If anybody knows how to make a frog belly, see Donna. Oh, Linda does. Linda does. Okay. Yep.
Well, that's a kid thing.
It's a kid thing. It's okay. That's why you know. I love it. Anyone else as you're sitting out?
Woodchuck ammunition.
Okay, not all the creatures are welcome.
I'm not sure what the tree is. Oh, sorry. That a tall, slender. I don't know if it kind of reminded me of an aspen, but the way the leaves all independently almost flicker. The other trees, the branches all kind of went together, but these were just pretty little spark. Like if they sparkled, it would be.
Do you see it? Which one is it?
There's a
over
cluster
there.
of them on
Right.
the other side over there. I don't know if they're a
Poplars.
poplar? Okay,
That's
yeah, I
right.
love
You can hear them in the
Yep. Yep. I like that. So they each shared their sound rather than than together. Thank you. Rose. Excuse me. Thanks.
I thought about all the gifts we get from trees. We get the shelter, we get the shade, we get heat when we burn them, we get food because various kinds have food. So that was a thank you, trees.
Thank you, trees.
I was sitting next to a bush that.
Christenia,
Yes.
you're in theater. You know to use the mic. Yep.
Yes, I have the mic. It's right here. I was sitting next to a bush that was down low, and it was still very green. It was still like, I'm still growing. I know it's, but up above, everything was kind of yellowing and already thinking about the September. And so it was like, down here, we still got things to do. We still got things to do.
Yep.
Yep, not done yet.
Not done yet. As you approach your birthday, right? Not done yet.
I happened to be sitting where the sun was hitting my face, and all I could think of was, how come something that feels so glorious be so bad for us?
Well, as my doctor said to me, because I was worried, like, should I be wearing more sunblock? And she just looked at me and shook her head. She said, honey, you live in Maine. Just take it. So.
I sat by an old rock wall, a fieldstone wall, and I thought about that and all the people here who are such a foundation of our community, the rocks. I certainly remember the tree burgees. I remember making a house call on Phyllis here. It brought back so many memories, and the Finneys, all of the great families that make up our community are the rocks, the foundation.
Thank you, Linda.
I think I need to go over there, so I'll be on.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. I have always struggled a little with the symbolism of the ashes on Ash Wednesday. And I feel like I sort of got it today. The part where it says, "Did you not know what the Holy One can do with dust? This is the day we freely say we are scorched. This is the hour we are marked by what has made it through the burning." And I just thought about, all the ways we're at war and we destroy each other. And, even though we do that as humans, and what we're left is this sort of scorched earth, that the plan has been made that regardless of that devastation, the earth and the potential that we hold as humans to repair and to regrow and recreate is still there. So today began with Linda fixing up her arrangement to be seen from all sides instead of just one dimensional. And she was glorying in these allium here. And the color is kind of purple, and I love it too. And I was just, in this time, I went over to look at the allium in the garden, and I think of them as a really exotic flower. And so I went to go see them in her garden where she has her cutting garden, and there was bees all over them, which Linda had commented on. And I just thought of the incredible science behind all of this and how there's a plan. You know, here we are, the garden ladies, and we get attracted to the color and the beauty of these flowers. And so we get together and we plant them and we celebrate them. We put them in flower arrangements. We create a garden club and we invite people to the garden, and people come, and we have church here. And the bees come, and, you know, I personally know very little about the interdependence and the pollination of, you know, what needs to happen in the garden to make the gardens grow. But it's just incredible to me that you can't stop nature. You can't stop the earth. It's just made in a way where it's going to keep returning no matter what we do as humans. And so that little bit of Ash Wednesday smudge is, you know, a little bit clearer to me today. It's we're all carrying that ability to keep it going, whether we realize it or not, and we can't help it if we just recognize that.
Thank you, Glennis.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Luca.
So last year when we did this, I went over to, there's a couple of birch trees there. I went back this year, and this year I found a hickory tussock caterpillar. So there's going to be some good moths in the fall.
Oh, wonderful. Returning to the same place again and again. Nice. Oh. Hi, Mariana.
So I too was looking at the allium. I was sitting across from a little patch of allium, and I was struck at these beautiful flowers on these very long, tall stems, and thinking how resilient they were and how they survived the rain and the cold and the drought and the heat, and how beautiful they are and how beautiful they will be when they start to pass and they get old and tired. They're still beautiful. And there was so many plants all around, weeds, other flowers that are just beautiful. We're so lucky that we have all this around us.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you. Go. Yep.
Everyone had a great experience as I did, and I can't add to your experience. I did note, however, that just as we were completing our exercise of grounding, a beautiful hawk flew out of a tree over there and did a nice big circle and flew away. And something came to mind that I thought you might enjoy. Peter Gabriel's Salisbury Hill. Just one verse. Climbing up on Salisbury Hill, I could see the city light. Wind was blowing, time stood still. Eagle flew out over the night. He was something to observe, came in close. I heard a voice, standing, stretching every nerve. I had to listen, had no choice. I did not believe the information. I had to trust imagination, my heart going boom, boom, boom. Son, he said, grab your things. I've come to take you home.
Thank you. Now I'm going to be singing boom, boom, boom. I'll come to take you home. Thank you so much. Wonderful. B. Excuse me. Thanks.
I was sitting looking out at those silver fir trees. What are they? Colorado spruce?
Blue spruce.
Blue spruce, blue spruce. And to start with, there's 5 of them in a row. Perhaps they were planted at the same time. And they're all so different now. The one on the end is bigger and bushier, and then they go along and they're different sizes. They've grown in different ways, and yet they're all of such value. And then my eyes turned, and I noticed, as well as the blue spruce, there are so many different trees sitting over there, and they're all so lovely in their own way. There's the blue spruce, tall and spiky, and then there's the sumac, which is already starting to show its lovely autumn colours. And then there's the silver birch round here. You can just see a little bit of it with its delicate little leaves and its white trunk. And then the lovely copper beech, which is really tall, and a couple of maples. And it just struck me how diversity is sort of essential to the loveliness, how none of them are trying to be something else. They're all just themselves, and that's the best way to be. Thank you.
Thank you, B. Thank you so much. Anyone else? I remember last year coming back from sabbatical and did this for the first time with you all. And I don't get nervous on Sunday morning very often anymore, but I was nervous. Like, what are they going to think? How's it going to go? I'd kind of done it, but not really done it, been a part of it before. And it was so amazing the first time. And then we've done it a few times. And it just strikes me again this Sunday. Like, I feel how fortunate I am to be able to be with you all here in this place, but to hear what's going through your hearts and minds too. And that in this world that is trying to separate us and divide us, that we choose to gather together in this circle where we look at each other. That's one of my favorite things about a circle, is you get to look at each other, not just the back of each other's heads, right? And you get to share, and we get to find out who we are. We know a little bit about each other, a little bit more about each other now because we've done this. And how fortunate that we make this choice again and again in so many ways, not just here, but in many places, to be together, not only with this world, this earth, but together as people too. And I am indeed thankful to be a part of that with you all. So if you'll grab your bulletins, let's sing. Yep. We are not our own. And please stand if you're able.
We are not our own, earth forms us, human leaves on nature's growing vine, fruit of many generations, seeds of life divine. We are not alone, earth names us, past and present, peoples near and far, family and friends and strangers show us who we are.
You may be seated. And let's gather together and let's pray. Gracious God, we are here with the breeze and the sun and the sky, with the soil, with the grass, with all the humming little things that are surrounding us, that have allowed us to be a part of the world that they are creating. And God, we are thankful. Indeed, we think this morning, even as we gather here, as we have spoken together about the ways that we as humans want to pull ourselves apart, separate ourselves from one another, make borders and lines, and tell people, you don't belong. I don't have to care about you. Your life is of no value to me. God, forgive us. Let the sound of the birds and the crickets and the cicadas, let the buzzing of the insects in our ears, let the warmth of the sun, the sound of the leaves, whatever is around us, remind us that we are one in you. For those leaders who can speak the words and take the actions that can make things more peaceful, God, surround them with bees and leaves and cicadas, or whatever their soil is and what the sky looks like where they are. And may they know your oneness and call all of us to that. Loving God, for those we hold in our heart, with memories of folks we visited, of those who are our very foundations that have allowed us to be here, of those who are beloveds now, for those for whom we celebrate, for those for whom our hearts break. God, we are all one in you. Hear our prayers. Change us as we walk, sometimes scorched and sometimes so refreshed, as we are both growing and changing, and at the ends and at beginnings. God, let us know you in amazing ways. God, may our prayers be joined with the breeze and the songs and the dust. All this we ask in your name. Amen. And let's sing, if you're able, let's stand together, because before me is peace, has hand motions. If you remember, it's before me is, I've got to look at here too. Before me is peace, behind me is peace, below me is peace, above me is peace, and then around me is peace, within me is peace, around me is peace, within me is peace. If you're new, just join in. We've done it only a few times, so we'll get it. So let's stand together and use our whole bodies to join in.
Behind me is peace, below me is peace, above me is peace, around me is peace, within me is peace.
Outside, endlessly spacious, audacious and wild, we are laid low and humbled as we are in the midst of your splendor. Send us as universe's child to all the places of your grace, and let us be witnesses of your love now and always. Amen.